What's up, everyone? It's Colin on day 12 of my 30-day challenge. As you can see, I put a plant next to me to spice things up. Very exciting, I know. So yesterday was awesome. Oh my gosh. So everyone's been asking me about if I'm telling people that I'm going on dates with, if I'm telling them about this challenge. And that got addressed yesterday. So I'm going to get to that in 1 second. First, I want to start off with how my day began. And that was that I went to the Mississippi Street Fair. I had a lot going on yesterday. I was like, okay, I'm going to go to this social environment, get a lot out of the way. And then I get there, and it's madness. And this is actually a really challenging environment. I thought I was going to be able to easily just talk to people. There's going to be, younger girls everywhere. Not so much the case. They were there, but it's like there is people everywhere. Like I am just, on stage there with friends. Everyone's with boyfriends and families and husbands. And so I was a little overwhelmed. So the first opportunity I saw was these three girls who they stood out from everyone. They were like permed hair and had their flashy fashion clothes on and just walking straight out of a Mean Girls scene in the high school hallway. Everyone kind of parted while they walked down Mississippi. So I just was like, whoa, I got to do this. So I'm walking past them and I'm realizing this is probably one of the scariest introductions I've ever made. So I'm breathing deep. I'm like, gotta do this. Everyone's around. Everyone's gonna see me. Screw it. And I just went in and I was like, hey, my name's, and by the way, I knew that this was a suicide mission. So I just go into these three queen bees and I'm like, hey, my name's Colin. I thought you guys were cute. I wanted to introduce myself. And they're like, oh yeah, we're on our way out. I was like, oh, that's cool. What was your name? And then she's like, yeah, my name's I don't know, Sarah or something. Yeah, we're going this way. We'll see you later. And boom, just to the face, stiff arm. So that was whoo. And there's people around. I know people are seeing me and stuff. And so that was I stepped my level of approach anxiety or whatever you want to call it up, and really took the next level. So then to catch you up, I had about 7. I had one or two more there, and then I left, and then had some interactions on the street later, and so total of 7 people yesterday, which was great to catch up from the day before. And then I went on a third date with this person I've been hanging out with, or I've gone on a couple dates with her, and I also met her by doing this. So we're sitting in the park, and in the back of my head, I know that I have to bring this up. I'm like, okay, I said that I would to everyone on Facebook, so now I have to bring this up. And plus, it's she probably needs to know if we're going to continue hanging out. So I'm maneuvering the conversation to bring it up, and then I get to, I'm starting to talk about personal development, and she's like, oh, this is amazing. I was so happy this happened. She's like, oh yeah, speaking of personal development, I'm doing this 30-day challenge, and the first thought in my head is, oh, that's a weird coincidence. This girl's into 30-day challenges too. That's awesome. And then she's like, yeah, I need to talk to 150 guys over the month of July. And I was thinking oh, she is so seeing my Facebook page already. Yeah, she beat me to it. And so I joked around with her a little bit. I was like, oh, really? I'm doing the same thing. And so then, I was like, oh, so how did you find that? And she's like, we were friends? And she's like, no, I just one of her friends looked me up because she told her about me. And lo and behold, all my stuff is completely public. You don't even need to be a friend of mine to see it. So she asked me how I felt about it. And actually, I was relieved that she brought it up. I was like, well, I'm glad that you've seen them all because I don't actually have to explain myself now. You've seen it. But, I let her know that I really thought that I should probably have told her in the beginning. And, actually, we sat there and I got a lot of feedback from her about what her experience was, and it was great. And, she said she was really entertained by all the videos, and if she was looking for something more serious, if she'd gotten out of a relationship recently, so if she was looking for something more serious, she might have a totally different take on it. And it was great. It was actually a fantastic conversation because I was just excited to have it all out there. So I was super curious about what her input was, and she gave me some great feedback about some of the stuff I'm saying in videos. And by the way, she is such an amazing girl, so beautiful, so sweet, and charismatic and funny. She's obviously watching these, so I had to throw that in there. So it was great, and that was right then. I was like, well, obviously I need to do this from the very beginning, otherwise, you know, this can happen. And she did say one thing though that kind of flipped a little switch in my head that was like, it made me think about this, which was, yeah, she's like, if you would have told me, you might not have got a second date out of me. I don't know if she's just saying that or what the deal is, but that's an interesting point. Like, maybe I wouldn't get a second date, but at this point, maybe it helps me weed people out who, you know, because maybe everyone will be offended by this, but I just feel like I have to be an open book and tell everyone. So anyway, that was freaking awesome yesterday. I was totally like blown away that that actually happened and that I got to share that with you guys. So anyway, from now on, I obviously will be telling people pretty much out of the gate, at least if we're going on a first date. And yeah, I just cracked me up. So anyway, I mean, I'll continue. I have no, you know, I think we're going to perhaps continue to hang out now that it's all out there. We'll see. And anyway, I'll keep you posted. Thanks for tuning in and talk to you soon.